Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing a quick, focused exploration, maybe 5 minutes tops, into something really vital for any team. How do successful teams actually, learn from their choices? We want to see how today's decisions can genuinely make tomorrow's better.
Exactly. And for this deep dive into learning from team decisions, we're drawing heavily from the Thinking and Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Catsabone. What that work really highlights is that a decision isn't just a single moment, it's a cycle. You prepare, you act, but crucially, you need to review. Without that review, how do you avoid making the same mistakes?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. Because if we want teams to really learn, where does that learning actually come from? I think a lot of people assume that learning happens right at the start, when they're framing the decision or maybe even making it.
Right, and that's a really common misconception. Let's break down why. Take decision framing. That's all about setting things up, defining the problem, the goals, the options, like drawing the blueprint.
It guides the decision, sure.
It guides it, absolutely.
Yep.
But it gives you zero feedback on whether the building, actually stood up straight or came in on budget. It's all prep work, no outcome analysis.
Okay, so framing isn't where the learning happens. What about the moment of decision making itself, the action point?
Well, that's purely forward-looking, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
picking option A over option B and moving forward. Any immediate feedback you get there is super basic, like, oops, that failed, or great, it worked.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a result, not really insight into why it worked or failed.
Precisely. It's too surface level. It doesn't dig into the reasons, the process flaws, the assumption errors. You don't get that deep transferable learning for the next time.
Right, right. Now, this next one, this is where I think things get interesting. Ongoing revalidation. Isn't that learning? Checking if the decision still makes sense, tweaking things as you go. It feels dynamic.
It feels like learning, and it's important maintenance, definitely.
Hmm.
Think of it like checking your GPS while driving.
Hmm.
Is the route still valid? Do we need a detour? It keeps you on track for that specific trip. But it doesn't fundamentally question whether you should have chosen a different destination entirely or a different mode of transport, or if your planning process for trips is flawed. It's about persistence, not effectiveness.
So it's course correction for the current decision, not improvement for future decisions.
You've got it. It lacks that structured look back.
So if framing is the setup, making is the choice, and revalidation is just checking it still holds, what actually generates the real useful feedback for growth? Where's the magic step?
The magic step, the one that closes the loop, is retrospection. This is the formal stage. This is where the team deliberately steps back, looks at the whole picture, the decision, the process, the outcome, and asks, okay, what really happened here?
Not just did it work, but how did it work and why?
Exactly. Did our assumptions hold up? Was the data good? Was our execution effective? What broke? What went surprisingly well? And critically, what specific changes do we need to make to our process, our templates, our checklists for next time?
So it's about making it systemic, turning that one experience into something the whole team or even the organization learns from.
That's the core of it. Retrospection is what transforms individual experiences into collective institutional knowledge. It builds that continuous improvement muscle. It's about creating those lessons learned, updating best practices, maybe even changing policy.
And without that formal retrospection step, you just break the cycle.
You break the cycle. You might get lucky sometimes, but you're essentially condemning future teams to rediscover the same problems over and over again. You sacrifice future effectiveness. Learning needs that dedicated, structured reflection.
That really clarifies things. It's not enough to just make decisions and check if they're still active. You need that formal look back. So for you listening, if you want to really get into the weeds on how to structure this, how to embed these learning practices formally within project management,
Then we absolutely recommend you dive deeper into the source material we touched upon today.
check out Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone. It really lays out these concepts clearly.